Hello everyone, today we are going to start the next unit in the block of approaching sociological theory, and that is called concept and theory. So let's begin. The nature of concepts. When scientists use a word, it gets a technical meaning, becomes a concept in referring to a human being. Biologists use the phrase Homo sapiens or wise man to describe the modern man. If a person falls ill, in common language, people say he or she has got fever. As discoveries get advanced, words like malaria, influenza indicate the nature of the fever. They also describe which part or insects have affected the body. Then we understand the nature and causes of the disease. The next step is finding the care. So when fever or disease is described in terms of its components and their behavior or misbehavior is known, we begin to know how things or bodies associated and recognized get interrelated. Each measurement helps the physician to analyze the nature of the disease. Thus, temperature, blood pressure, sugar, or blood sugar content in urine can be measured. Each of these words and their measurements have a definite meaning. Thus, tests can be carried out by persons other than physicians. The words that describe each measurement become concepts and are commonly understood as the सेम सेंस बाय टेक्नीशियंस. तो एक चीज का के पीछे के अलग अलग चीजें उन्होंने निकाली. जैसे कोई डिजीज है तो उसमें ये सारे फैक्टर्स देखे, सारे सिम्टम्स देखे, उन सिम्टम्स क्यों होते हैं, तो उसके पीछे फिर उन्होंने देखा कि अच्छा ये डिजीज है. अ कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग हेल्प्स लोकेट द नॉर्मल एंड पैथोलॉजिकल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ बॉडीज और एंटीबॉडीज एंड देयर पर्टिकुलर कॉम्बिनेशंस. तो नॉर्मली ऐसा होता है और अभी ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है, इज व्हाट फिजिशियंस डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन. Chemistry as a science came into its own when the atom was discovered as the smallest particle of matter that could take part in a chemical reaction. Atomic weight of hydrogen was taken to be 1 and of oxygen 2. Thereby, weights for 92 elements were calculated. These were arranged in a table called atomic table. Further, researchers on unstable elements carried their number to 110. The elements could mix up in a reaction. Soon it was found that there was no loss of weight in a chemical reaction. This was a theoretical statement. ये उन्होंने देखा कि अच्छा पहले मेजर किया बाद में मेजर किया तो दोनों सेम आ रहा है. तो ये एक थ्योरेटिकल स्टेटमेंट था. फिर उन्होंने देखा अच्छा ये इसलिए हो रहा है बिकॉज जो वेट्स हैं वो एक केमिकल रिएक्शन में हमेशा बैलेंस हो जाते हैं. Atomic weight was a concept. The interrelations among concepts that could be proved to hold is a number of trials or experiments became a theoretical proposition. Further, interrelation among such theoretical conclusion became a part of theory. The chief characteristic of theory is that it constitutes a series of conclusions stated in terms of concepts and their interrelation. Thus, theoretical proposition gets linked to others and one या all taken together constitute the theory in the subject. फिर ये सारी चीजों को मिलाकर एक थ्योरी बनाई जाती है. द प्रोसेस ऑफ थ्योरी फॉर्मेशन के बहुत सारे स्टेप्स है. क्या क्या स्टेप है? फर्स्ट है स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट और उसके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना. जैसे उन्होंने डिजीज में सारे सिम्टम्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया. इंटरैक्शंस अमंग दीज यूनिट्स दैट लीड टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कंपाउंड्स एंड कॉम्प्लेक्सेस इन डिटर्मिनेट वेज. अच्छा इनके बीच में फिर इंटरैक्शन हो रहा है तो वो कंपाउंड्स बन रहे हैं, कॉम्प्लेक्स रिएक्शंस हो रहे हैं, वो कैसे हो रहा है. स्टेटमेंट्स दैट यूज कंसेप्ट्स एंड देयर इंटररिलेशंस टू इंडिकेट द नेचर ऑफ इंटरैक्शंस एंड देयर रिजल्ट्स. ये सारे जो कंपाउंड्स कॉम्प्लेक्सेस बन रहे हैं उससे हमें क्या नेचर ऑफ रिएक्शन या क्या रिजल्ट मिल रहा है वो देखना है. एंड देन फाइनली फ्रीक्वेंट एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन टू अराइव एट द स्टेटेड रिजल्ट्स एंड इफ रिजल्ट्स शो अ डिफरेंस देन एक्सप्लेन द डिफरेंस. कि अच्छा इसमें ऐसा ही होता है पर अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो उसके फिर पीछे का रीजन समझाना. Concepts in sociology, some illustration. Now look at some concepts that sociologists use frequently. We use one word to signify one object or a meaning. We use different words to signify other objects. Thus, we try to have same meaning for describing similar things. Different words to make differences clear. Human beings can be put into different characteristics. Example, categories. Example, male, female, brother and sister belonging to the same generation. Father and son to different generation. So do mother and say for example daughter. सब अलग अलग generations अलग अलग तरीके से लोगों को categorize किया जा सकता है. These relations are found among many such unit of two persons. Relationships among two persons are called didactic. मतलब दो लोगों के बीच में relations है, उसको dyad to बोला है. Yeah. Radcliffe Brown, a British social anthropologist, suggested that the first social relationship is didactic in nature. दो लोगों के बीच में होता है because एक कोई दूसरे से बात कर रहा है. When we talk of a relationship, we ask a question: is the relationship limited to one event or is it repeated time and again? Then we raise a second question: is the relationship limited to two persons only or many people in similar situations are involved? So Radcliffe Brown, a British social anthropologist, suggested that the first social relationship is didactic in nature. कि हम दो लोगों के सामने बात करते हैं तो दो लोग होते हैं एक रिलेशनशिप में. Is the relationship limited to one event or is it repeated time and again? Then we raise a second question. Is the relationship limited to two persons only or many people in similar situations are involved in it? A student-teacher relationship is found among two persons, but then there are many teachers and many students. There is a common acceptance that students will get related to teachers in some defined way. Here, let us introduce a few concepts. A student, in getting related to the teacher, performs a role. It gets defined when repeated time and again it acquires a pattern. This pattern is expected to be performed. An individual performing the role has been defined as a person by Nandl. Let us go ahead. The role of a student is performed by many students. Hence, Nandl says one role is performed by many individuals. But a person is many individuals. Now, our individual enters into more than one interrelationship every day. In the family, he may be a brother or a sister of someone else. Next, he may be a son related to a father, a son. So ये सारे अलग-अलग relationships में एक individual होता है जिसमें वो अलग-अलग roles perform करते हैं. Concepts to theories. Natural science. It is useful to recall the difference between arithmetic and algebra. In the first case, we try to solve every question that is posed to us, add to the sums and so on, or exercises 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2 is subtraction, or to go further to multiplication and division. So basically इसके अलग अलग एग्जाम्पल्स बता रहे हैं कि डिफरेंस होता है अरिथमेटिक और एल्जेब्रा में. In natural sciences, say in physics and chemistry, we come across words, concepts, their interrelationships, and then interconnections among concepts expressed in quantities that lead to theory or better laws. We take an example of an apple. It fell down from the tree, a normal occurrence. But Newton asked the question, why did the apple fall to the ground? He propounded the theory of gravity, not apple alone. But all objects fall towards the ground. If the earth is round, then why do people on the other side of the earth do not fall away? This doubt was expressed by our villagers. Why do the Americans on the other side of the globe do not fall away? Newton had an answer. All things fall towards the center of the earth. This explained all falls. Thus, the theory of gravity came into being. The explanations come with Newton. Though apples or other objects had been falling that way ever since the creation of the earth, here we can sum up the process of theory formation. Theory is an explanation of recurring event and to is valid explanation to universally in space and time. मतलब एक कोई थ्योरी है वो एक कंसेप्ट को अलग अलग तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करने का कोशिश करती है एंड वो यूनिवर्सली एक तरीका का एक्सप्लेनेशन होता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ग्रेविटी इधर ये अलग है तो अमेरिका में अलग. The theory is a revisable proposition. Examples are the theory of the atom being indivisible part of matter had to be revised after the splitting of the atom. The case of discovery of elements, उसमें अलग-अलग examples दिए गए. Science is impersonal in the sense that the laws and the theories do not depend for their true value on the status of a person, be he a king, a prime minister, priest, or even the scholar himself. तो अगर ग्रेविटी मेरे लिए ऐसा काम करती है तो सबसे पावरफुल इंसान के लिए भी वैसे ही काम करेगी, सबसे गरीब इंसान के लिए भी सेम काम करेगी. When an inquiry is conducted or a problem solved on the basis of existing knowledge about concepts and theory and illustrated as a case of a more general application, it is called a deductive approach. Deductive approach ये होता है कि एक थ्योरी है फिर उसको तुम जाकर प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में अप्लाई करते हो. अच्छा एप्पल गिरता है ना, हमने भी थ्योरी में पढ़ा बिकॉज ग्रेविटी है, तो तुम एप्पल गिरा के देख रहे हो. That is what's deductive approach. We move from theory to facts. When we move from facts and arrive at an explanation, that process is called induction. पहले हमने facts देखे, उसके बाद उसका थ्योरी बनाया. हमने देखा कि पेड़ से पहले एप्पल गिर रहा है, उसके बाद हमने ग्रेविटी के बारे में बोला, तो उसको इंडक्टिव अप्रोच बोला जाता है. Here conclusions are only provisional and are under consent testing and constant testing and revision. As a process body or science consists of revisable propositions, some authors are of the opinion that science grows double say every 10 years, and after 50 years quite a few conclusions or theoretical statements need modification. Towards social science, Durkheim, Weber and beyond. There has been a lot of discussion whether social science can follow the method of natural sciences. These need separate discussion. Comte, Durkheim and Radcliffe Brown answered yes. Dilthey, a historian, took the other view. Weber tried to follow the middle path. On different occasions, systems of explanation have been tried, and these have been called grand theories, which could be applied to several inquiries or cases. At least that is the claim. Marxism and Pausanian systems belong to that category. Then there are descriptions at an empirical level. Facts gathered and put into tables without any explanation. These are not theories per se, but theories can be made through proper analysis. Durkheim's study of suicide rates and explanations of their variations is the best example of theory formation from the existing data. उन्होंने बहुत सारा डेटा लिया और उसके बाद बोला कि अच्छा ये डेटा ऐसा बोल रहा है इसलिए ये मेरी थ्योरी है. हाँ, तो इट वॉज एन इंडक्टिव अप्रोच. It will be helpful to understand this method. Firstly, Durkheim clarified the term and located 3 or 4 types of suicide and their nature. उन्होंने सुसाइड क्या है और उसमें कितने प्रकार के 4 सुसाइड्स डर्कहाइम ने बोले थे, फिर उन्होंने वो लिस्ट किया. For each type, the existing data available in official records were classified in terms of their distribution in various social categories. This classification needed intelligence and brilliance of the author. Each type of suicide rate varied according to the data on social facts, and comparisons were made. Explanations were given for each type. A theory of suicides was formulated in terms of the variations of the degree of integrated solidarity in society. Let us recall how Max Weber formulated this theory. The keywords Protestant ethic and capitalism were defined after going through the literature. Their ideal types were defined. Cases where both were present and not present were identified. Comparisons in the historical setting. Then फिर conclusion दिया हुआ ना. तो इन्होंने ये कैसे थ्योरी बनाई उसका यहाँ पे पूरा लिखा हुआ है. Durkheimian studies on suicide received attention in the hands of the psychologists and social psychologists in particular, and they began re-examining the loss of sense of security as a possible explanation besides other. One of the types of suicide was classified as ramomic. A group of writers considered this concept as central to the analysis of modern societies. In turn, they begin to de-link the concept from that of solidarity, introduced more psychological variables in it. While Merton retained the social component as control does, succeed in social scientists find an alternative relevance of the concept and try to look at the problem of a different age through it with some modifications. अब इसमें Max Weber. The second example refers to Max Weber. His treatment of the Protestant ethic gives rise to the counterpoint at the hands of the writers treating the Catholic, Hindu, Shinto, and Confucian faiths, suggesting a sort of negation of negation. Marxist scholars pinpointed on structural factors as being more decisive than the culture as propounded by Weber. Yet most of the Asian dialogue on entrepreneurship kept alive the debate with Weber within the cultural frame. Maria, written in his article on the study of entrepreneurship in India, neatly summarizes the position and calls for greater interaction among the two major approaches. There have been ample discussions on Weber versus Marx and a sort of convergence signifying Marx and Weber as complements of each other. Yet another variations of Weber are found in the conceptualization of methodology and phenomenology, wherein actor's point of view is being given primacy over others. Within Marxism, one comes across increasing emphasis on empirical studies. The classical writers who developed ways of looking at social facts, currents, and actions in their own times are being increasingly discovered for their relevance to addressing the problems of new societies or our contemporary periods. This dynamism constitutes the process of science linking concepts and theories of the classical writers and modern situation. Parsons and Merton. Among the 20th century writers, Talcott Parsons is the most significant for conceptualizing human actions and connecting economy, polity, institutions, and pattern maintenance. This exercise requires contributions from economics, anthropology, psychology, and sociology, and their integration into a general theory of action. As Parsons grew mature, he examined economy, polity, family, and professions, especially medicine, as subsistence, and in cooperation with valued colleagues, looked into specifics of the American society. So, one thing you need to learn about Parson is that he's a functionalist in a way that सॉरी he's a structuralist. He's a structuralist is in a way कि वो grand theories पे बहुत ज्यादा believe करते हैं. वो universe की बात करते हैं, वो universe and stars and all of the things which explains a grand narrative, a meta narrative, उसमें वो बहुत ज्यादा interested रहते थे. इसलिए उन्होंने जब सोशियोलॉजी में भी बात की तो उन्होंने सिर्फ ऐसे बात नहीं की कि सिर्फ एक सोसाइटी को लिंक कर सकते हैं, बट सारी सोसाइटीज में ऐसी सारी चीजें होती हैं, वैसा पार्सन्स का मानना था. Critics at times found that the young author was different from the mature one. The younger being more general and the mature being more specific. This is what one gets by looking at Marx, with 1848 serving as the dividing line more or less. तो वो बता रहे हैं कि हिस्ट्री में अच्छा 1848 के पहले मार्क्स एंड देन फिर बाकी उनकी राइटिंग्स के बारे में हो रही. Theories of society. Thereafter, specifics gained currency and the treatment got manifestly grounded in the empirical situation of the American society. पहले जब हमने पार्सन्स के बारे में बात की, मर्टन के बारे में बात की, तो ग्रैंड मेटा नैरेटिव्स की बात की. फिर बहुत ज्यादा स्पेसिफिक्स पर बात होने लगी. We have hinted at the influence Parsons had on Indian scholarship in a different unit. Some critics commented upon Parsons as if he was guilty of using too many concepts to state his position and synthesize the effects. Their use earned him more critics than supporters. Yet, from among the galaxy of his students and co-workers, we get more and more specific studies of various aspects of society. Merton was among the most serious of the students who attempted a fresh combination of empirical studies and grand theory, taking some aspects selectively at a time. Harry and John passed on the gains of the entire approach in a book entitled Sociology, which get translated in Hindi by Yogesh Atal, who had spent a semester with Merton. Other writers studies the family, religion, economy, and polity. Merton is important for having the coined the phrase theories of the middle range. तो because Merton पार्सन्स के स्टूडेंट थे, वो ग्रैंड नैरेटिव बनाना चाहते थे, बट स्पेसिफिक्स की अब बात होने लगी थी, तो उन्होंने मिडिल रेंज थ्योरी बनी, उन दोनों के बीच का एक कनेक्शन बनाया. Accordingly, he systemized classical explanations for use as tools of research of modern societies and to an extent modified old concepts giving them a new relevance and vibrancy. He did this for function by pinpointing three categories: function, dysfunction, and non-function, and to look for a balance of consequences of the three. He devised a protocol for observation that would permit gathering of information with the potential for being understood in the functional perspective. At the conceptual level, he had a fresh look at the analysis, a comparison between the sociology of knowledge and at the level of nature, cosmopolitan and local press. He clarified social aspects of economy, the conflict between the accepted goals of the society and the use of rather. So उन्होंने फिर रेफरेंस के ग्रुप में बात की, मिडिल रेंज थ्योरीज के बात में की, जो एक्चुअली उन दोनों के बीच का ब्रिज था. दिस फंक्शन, डिसफंक्शन, नॉन फंक्शन इज ऑल्सो कमिंग फ्रॉम पैटर्न वेरिएबल्स ऑफ दिस वन पार्सन्स. तो बहुत सारी चीजें उन्होंने influenced थी. And you have to understand that when I talk about functionalists, like, okay, so did I say he was Parsons was a structuralist or a function? Parsons is always a functionalist. I apologize. I think मैंने starting में बोला था कि वो structuralist है. No, I meant he's a functionalist. And you have to understand that when functionalists talk about the world, they always look at it as a rosy picture. उनका मानना होता है कि वर्ल्ड में कोई भी डिसफंक्शन नहीं होता है, कुछ भी गंदा नहीं हो रहा है, सब अच्छा है, चीजें हैं बिकॉज वो फंक्शन कर रही हैं. But then this one, Merton said it's not really like that because कुछ चीजें इसलिए भी है कि वो dysfunctions create करती हैं. वो inherently dysfunctions के लिए ही होती है. वो जैसे crime हो गया, that is a dysfunction and there its role in the societies of dysfunction. Yeah, तो फिर उन्होंने ऐसा differentiation किया था. Merton's other contribution lay in attempting some questions set by financing agencies and using the opportunity for developing concepts that would acquire explanatory power in the broad frameworks of social theory and social structure. In the preface to a volume on social problems, he distinguished between या तो उनका अलग-अलग contribution के बारे में यहाँ पे बात हो रही है. Words and concepts are products of mind, and when their meaning is shared, communication of ideas take place in daily life as well as in academic circles. The development of science made the meanings more and more specific, as also grammar and logic. Natural sciences connect concepts with experiments, and conclusions affect their interconnections among various concepts and their combination. Science keeps on growing and doubling itself faster than social sciences or humanities. History of ideas is more significant for the latter. ये क्या नाम है, humanities के लिए, as old formations and theories are discovered to provide insights into the current problems, yet refinements keep on happening. This has been illustrated chiefly with respect to the methods and approaches used by Durkheim and Weber and the nature of middle range theories initiated by Merton over the grand theories of Parsons. ये जो हमने अभी पढ़ा था. In the body of the unit, the manner in which words like structure and function have developed has been briefly touched upon. हम ना मतलब this confusion of structure and function is also not a very new confusion which I just had. Sociologists really struggle with this because the father of modern day sociology, Durkheim, he used to call himself a structural functionalist. So you really have to break down that word and see ki, what does a structuralist mean, what does a functionalist mean, किन लोगों को हम फंक्शनलिस्ट बोलते हैं, किन लोगों को हम स्ट्रक्चरलिस्ट बोलते हैं, ये सारी चीजें. स्टूडेंट्स आर एडवाइज टू स्टडी द रिलेटेड मटेरियल सप्लाइड इन स्पेसिफिक यूनिट, जो इसके साथ में ही लगा हुआ है. Merton also developed protocols for observation and paradigms for studying questions in a theoretical or structural perspective. The next lessons deals with the paradigms and theories. With that, we finish this unit. I hope to see you all in the next class. Thank you. Bye.